Hi guys, and welcome to another Duloth experience video. As you may or may not know, I've been bedded the last few days due to a flu and some other issues, so I'm not able to stream in these days. I hopefully get to stream tomorrow during reset day. I don't know. I will try to do my best. Moreover, my little pet project was to find some way to automate the tedious things on the game. One of those, which is considered some kind of a must to do thing from everyone because of the gems in there, is red alert. So I was trying to find a team that could do it on auto, and for my Gear 4 account, the alt account, which is this one, I found this team that works properly because you want them to use their own first skill, the enrage from Atrocitus will proc the call assist on Hal Jordan. Will force the call assist on Hal Jordan. Will give shields at the start of each battle. Wally West will slow down guys. Wonder Girl will have increased damage. It just works best. And I've been clearing Red Alert for days, for like 1 week and a half. So I said, if I can do this on my alt account, why cannot do this on my main? So I've tried to go for it on the main account, and I've managed and failed so many times. So as you can see here, the the thing to do is to find one team you are strong against and just go against them. Sometimes you will get no luck. For this particular composition, the best team to go is with 2 greens and 1 blue and 1 red, because the 2 greens will be no match for Wonder Girl with increased damage. The the red won't be enough to kill my Wonder Girl with the additional shields from Atrocitus and the shield eventually from Hal Jordan. And Wally West will usually slow them down enough not to be a pain to us. So you just go on auto everywhere and you clear in these days. The issue that you get when you are starting to level them up higher and higher is that you will end up getting into legendary effects like death immunity or taunt on the start of the battle and so on. So it's not that easy in Gear 11, and in Gear 10 is similar. So the point is to just try and find a team that can self-sustain itself, on the long run. So I will stop showing you this kind of boring stuff, and this account will probably die in 2 days, because I've proved that because of the the team, the way that the team are proposed to you in PvP, and the way that PvE works, you can basically clear everything in PvP and Red Alert or even Siege with the same team, if you find someone that works and cover all the bases. Here you have debuff Purge on Wonder Girl, and you have buff Purge on your opponent teams in Wonder Girl and Hal Jordan. You have Call Assist in Atrocitus and Hal Jordan. You have heals in the way of shields on Hal Jordan and Atrocitus, and you have turn meter control on Wally West. And I'm still playing on auto everything, and I think I didn't play in the last 2 days because I didn't want to stay in front of my PC and this is on BlueStacks. I don't have any Android device, and this is where I am on the siege. So with a Gear 4 account, I am like getting Legendary 1 of Larfreeze, and with still Gear 4, I was barely outside, top 500. So if I win here and I keep doing this in 2 days, tomorrow at reset, without spending any gems, I will get 140 shards. Or even if I don't, I just got 90 shards of Giganta with Gear 5 guys, just because they are keep giving me bots, because there's no one with my trophy count in the top 500 ranks. So I even I got a message from I don't know if I'm still here because as a noob. No, from Kage, who says, what's happening? I've encountered you. This is one using your name or whatever. And I said, no, it's my alt account, which is just there, showing that you can get into top 500 with noob account, just Gear 4. And 1 point into Gear 5 because I misclicked, and then for some kind of OCD I kept applying those, and then I failed again on Atrocitus and put the second one, and then I said, okay, I will not do this again. And if you can see, everyone has the first pieces of Gear 5, and it's just that 4 with that first piece of Gear 5. It's just because my OCD, and they don't even have fully skill or whatever. They are just in the dumpster. They just work because of the 4 hero that I chose to level up, and 3 of them are free to play heroes because everyone has at least L2 Wonder Girl. You get R4 by just starting the game every day. And then you can just complete the event up to node 5, buffs node 5, and you should be there. And Hal Jordan is easily farmable. I sped it up by buying the 2,500 gems pack that was on the store, just because I wanted L2, and I didn't bother farming because I wanted to stop having another thing to run daily. So I even got enough shards for R5 Broccoli here. Not that I will ever get him to Legend, but it's just that by winning consistently against bots boards, you end up gaining more shards. And if I continue next month, I will have Catwoman because she will be board clear, and so on and so on and so on. So all this said and done, let's go for the main account, and let's see if we can do the same without failing, because as I said, it's been like a test and a fail in the last days. So the team that I chose to run, I've been in contact with people that claim to have cleared it on auto for so many days in the past, like Kage and whatnot. And the issue is that, for example, Kage said, I will fail. I use this Atrocitus, Wonder Girl, Power Girl, and Star Sapphire, but you fail if your Wonder Girl dies. And then I don't want to go for something like that, for maybe use the same team for whatever. And then I went for some way of reliable team, and the best team that I can go against is a heavy red team, and my team I will show you in a second. So maybe go this is super villain, and this is Cyborg, which is scary if you let him untouched. Okay, so let's go for this one. So my team is this one. Hal Jordan is the lead, is the one providing heals and shields at the start of the battle. The fact that he shields himself up, he works like some kind of a tank because blue will attack him first, and he is a way of healing himself. And the two blue that I will use here are Swan Thing and Stars of Fire. I started using Etrigan and Stars of Fire here because Etrigan can self-heal, so Stars of Fire. But the issue that I have in this team is that Hal Jordan has no way of self-buffing, thus proccing any way of... don't have any way of proccing Stars of Fire. So until my penguin is ready to help with the shields and buff department here, I will have to substitute my Etrigan with Swan Thing, because Swan Thing will apply immense all over the board, giving a lot of heal to Hal Jordan. And in the last spot, you want a first turn taunter and a damage dealer, because you have two blue damage dealers, and yeah, you want a green one. So, as I said, you go like this, and you start on auto. This team falls to heavy damaging blue, obviously, and to bad RNG. For example, you will see your opponents, blue or green guys, going for the green guys going for Swan Thing. You don't know why, and so on. So the point here, as I said, is just to stack up buffs on them, and every time everyone buffs up, Stars of Fire will give Mending that will proc the overheals and so on. And it's good to have your Hal Jordan fully overhealed by the end of the first round. And it can happen. You can end up getting Hal Jordan and Stars of Fire and Swan Thing fully overhealed by the end, depending on how many Swan Thing procs you get. And Hal Jordan with the Purge and the stuns, it's wonderful. And as you can see, is already nearly half overheal and nearly full shield. So this is where you start, and then you find for similar teams. One thing that I noticed is that if I go for this team, I will get a lot of Wonder Girl and Blue Heavy team. I don't know, it's like they adjust the opponents based on your last team used. So again, you are risking, if you go against every blue or heavy red teams without a first turn taunt. So something like this, it's good, but the new Batman can be scary. Let's see how it goes. He's in a leadership position, so it's fine. And as you can see, Stars of Fire and Power Girl are fully overhealed. Swan Thing is nearly there, and he has a kind of, insurance on the fact that he is able to rest. He's still bugged where he rests just once for every red alert cycle. So if he dies, you may want to save him and spare him the turn. But again, that's no biggie. He's there to die and fuel up your team with mendings and whatnot. And consider that I don't have the legendary point on his second skill here, that he uses a lot of cooldown that would have overhealed all my team. So as you can see now, Hal Jordan is nearly fully overhealed. Everyone is fulled. So I can continue with this team, or I can I can start and apply some kind of different pressures. So maybe I can go for this team and swap with Etrigan. So I will have more damaging on the other guys, a more damaging approach on the other guys, because, as I said, Al Jordan calling Etrigan is good. The fact that I am slowed down on my taunt, it's good. The big issue is death immunity, and it's where it fails sometimes, because AI will force herself to just go on the lowest health guy, and as you can see, that arrow is not going to die soon. So if it's able to be hit, maybe your Etrigan has true sight, he will go on on the stupid green arrow. That's not the case, that's just one random proc. And without Swamping, you may end up having a low health power girl, because she will only overheal from the strength up that she gets and the men's up that she gets from taunting and attacking. But it's enough. You will probably end the fight after, before she dies to some kind of, strong teams on the other side. So you go on and find those kind of team. You avoid Harlequin Magister, and you avoid this kind of team because Captain Cold will just destroy you. It seems like a joke, but when you are not able to focus fire someone, you will end up getting the short sand. So, as I said, you get these two greens, one red, one blue team, and you can go with Swamp Thing, or you can swap Etrigan according to the needs of the reds on the other side for the first choice, and the needs of healing your power girl, because she needs to be topped off. She will never have fully shielded situation where she is able to, be just maxed out, because she will be the one taking all the damage all the time. Sorry. Z is crazy scary against this kind of teams, but it's okay. You will have enough healing from Swan Thing, from Stars of Fire, and so on, and you usually don't lose her. And let's say I'd like to, not that I like, but I'd like to lose her, because I want to show you what will happen if I do. I will substitute Lobo for her, and Lobo has the chance as a low cooldown taunt on skill 2, and as a taunt on every opponent's death. That means that you will. So let's see if where we are going, and then I. Sorry, that's my illness speaking. And this is a little bit scary because of Flash and DOJ. But I wanted my Power Girl to die. So I was saying, Lobo has the ability to just taunt up on every death, yours or your opponent's, hopefully your opponent's, and then has a chance to taunt up on his own, and his own taunt will proc the buff ups from Stars of Fire and the heals, and it's just good. And when the siege is over, I will be able to legendary 5 my Swan Thing, giving it the chance to just apply the overheal on skill number 2, which is pretty good. So as you can see here, the taunt on Power Girl is scary, because if she doesn't get the death immunity, she will be prey to Al Jordan calling an assist on DOJ and probably killing her. So you have to just rely on luck, and that's it. But as you can see, when Stars of Fire fully overheals her, and she has so many mending, you are basically, some kind of safe. And you see this kind of wasteful resources when they just do nothing. one-shot guys, and they just keep buffing themselves. DOJ is a mess in leadership position because she will keep getting that death immunity on your opponents, and the new Ivy can be a risk. But we have to choose between the new Ivy and Batman, and I will go with the new Ivy every day. The new Ivy has been a problem for me because she applies the taunt always on Z, where I cannot just cannot kill her with my burst damage. So it's like, okay, you just heal that, taunted her, give her crit immunity, and she does a lot of damage. And the new call assist on the taunt is even scarier. As said, my number 2 skill on Swamp Thing is not skilled, and I don't have the legendary points, so don't mind that low damage and the luck core over heal. It is what it is. And Swamp Thing, as soon as it doesn't die twice, or before the game end, is some kind of an insurance for your team, because it allows you to to rest some of your teammates. This team is a little bit scary, and so we are in a position where there's no easy team to fight, on the other hand, because everyone has something that we are scared. This Siren is so scary with the Lobo Blitz and the fact that he will screw up with your taunt and rests. And this as Harlequin Magister. I will explain it later as you can tackle it. And this has Wondergirl. I will skip Wondergirl or Etrigan every time I see those. This is DOJ and Cheetah. This is doable. And this is horrible because of the heavy red damage dealers here. They can stun your guys, Cheetah will buff their strength, and they will probably kill one of those blue. So we'll probably end up here. If you wanted to go here, you could have swapped your Hal Jordan for Steppenwolf and just went with this. But I don't want to rely on RNG on the order or turns, so I would rather try and beat this one than risk it all on that one. Because even with 3 each ends up, sometimes they just fail and they miss on Harlequin Magister. So Cheetah didn't go for the strengths up, which is good. So she was stunned. At least we lost the taunt, but we have a fully hover heal and shield on both Swamp Thing and Stars of Fire, so that should not be a big problem for Bane. And she uses her taunt right now, so. And DOJ as the last one is not biggie. So this is the way I'm doing my red alert as of late, when I'm trying to, do something while I watch those, TV series or movie or whatever, and I want to skip the chores and the game. So I suppose the best team here, you want to avoid Superman. Any kind of damage immunity or death immunity, you want to avoid those, because the AI is stupid and it will go just straight for them. This is the easiest, where easiest is not really true, but this is the easiest one, especially because the Green Arrow is just gear probably 8 or 9. So I should be able to kill him on turn 1 and do not risk any kind of big damage on my guys. I was, to be honest, more happy if they went with Swamp Thing 3 on some of the blues, but it's okay. And when you select your team, remember that AI usually try to use their skill in order from the most powerful, which is the third one, to the second, to the first. So when you consider your team build up, consider that, for example, Power Girl will, let's say, always between hyphens, always go for AoE, taunt, punch, and then the first one that's available. If the AoE is for some reason already available, she will go for the AoE again. If it's not, she will go for the taunt if it's available. If it's not, again and again and again and again. So Swamp Thing will go for Coffin and then healing on the second and then random attack. So that's it. You have to just, when you build a team, Al Jordan, for example, will go Hammer, shields up, and then is ready again to go with Punch or Hammer or whatever. And as you can see, my Power Girl is wasting her damage on Death Immune Castaway Green Arrow. That's the big issue with having some kind of death immunity on the other side of a field. But sometimes you got no real choice, because on the other hand there's just this Alaquin Magister or Etrigan or whatever, and you have to just buckle up, join the ride, and do whatever you can. So we are threat 9. This is going pretty smoothly. We didn't have to swap anything due to death or something. We have been lucky. Sometimes around node 7 or 6 I lose my Power Girl if I go, let's say, more offensive on something stupid like Etrigan or whatever, and this may be the one that we lose someone, or maybe the whole team, because of Deathstroke. We have a team with Deathstroke, and they will keep attacking him until Al Jordan will purge it. So they will probably kill Cyborg, the 2 blues, and then we will go for, you will see that they will go for Huntress, because it will be the lower one. And then you won't have the chance to taunt on Power Girl because she will be constantly silenced or something. And then you have right now Deathstroke with a bunch of speeds up and strengths up. So as you can see, someone will die here. But the chance is that Power Girl will have the chance to taunt up as soon as possible, and after Swamp Thing rests up, or Power Girl taunt up, and you are fine. And as soon as Al Jordan purges it, you will be back again fine. And all those mending on Swamp Thing are just the way you end up fully overheal every time, and you just don't care. I was thinking worse. So many people could end this up here because they gained their legendary quest, or the other that wants the shards or the gems in the next node. They will probably go on one more. So let's skip this one. This is horrible. This is a nightmare. Even just playing normally. The reason is usually the same. If you can choose, let's say you have this team, both ear and ear, you always choose the one without any kind of buffs, because you will want to keep the buff for the later nodes. Here you have no choice. So we are node 11. Everyone is kind of fully healed or overhealed. We should be fine, especially if we double. We didn't. I hope that we could kill Green Arrow on turn 1. It's okay. So you will see that they will keep going on that Green Arrow until the end of days. Yeah, more on Green Arrow. And it's never the stand from Al Jordan. And in the meanwhile, Green Arrow is a lot of damage, and it's crazy OP. So it's scary when it happens. But again, the mending and the heal from Stars of Fire lined up so that we have like an overheal, a slightly overhealed Swamp Thing, and he never died in this run. So we have still the Nightmare encounter here. This is where you just quit or you just pray that it works. I will run it with auto just for science, but we know this from PvP that this is a nightmare because Wonder Girl with the Enrage on turn 1, Power Girl with the Enrage on turn 1, and Etrigan with a double attack on turn 1 is just asking for distraction. And my team relies on having 10,000 buffs, and it's like calling for a cake on Wonder Girl. So as you can see, it's just pointless. But again, we are just trying and trolling it. I will probably go with the same thing that I will go on in PvP with Red Robin, Deadshot Iron Gun, and something like that. And as you can see, going off with a buff-based team against Wonder Girl is like asking for distraction. So let me just try and kill one of them. Because even if we race up here with Swamp Thing, we try and even if we race up with Swamp Thing, we will end up getting so many buffs from the race up. That means that Wonder Girl will buff up more. And you know, there's Etrigan on the other hand. That means that yeah, we are just screwed. But it's okay. We wanted to reach the node 10 or node 11 for the gems, and we did it. So I don't know if I want to end this here. Now let's just apply some damage on... if we can apply some damage on Wonder Girl, it's better because we will be able to have some kind of first turn effect. And they have low turn meter gains. So I should be able to outspeed them with Red Robin and Deadshot. So in the last node, I could have, you know, already swapped this team with this one, and I would have been fine. But okay, you know, you have to just... we wanted to go for all in and see if we could just automatically play on auto the whole thing. So I don't know if I want to go with Etrigan or... yeah, maybe go with Etrigan. Maybe choose the Red Robin. Red Robin is gonna kill Wonder Girl. Etrigan is gonna get some buffs. Lord Freeze. So this should do something. We have a fully overhealed and shields up Etrigan, which will be pretty hard to kill. Your opponent, I mean. So let's see if I get enough turn meter up to just slaughter one of them. I will go on Wonder Girl first, because if I kill her on turn 1, it's fine. If I don't, I will just try and apply the speeds up with Red Robin. So I can even try and kill Wonder Girl here with Red Robin, so I will save my crit chance on Etrigan. And she did dress up fine. Rest once. Rest twice. This is the infamous 30% rest chance from from Atrocitus. So the best thing here is to bring Atrocitus down and kill him. So let's just go for that. He will probably go on my Larfreeze soon enough, and my plan is to just kill Atrocitus here. And maybe we just apply some damage with him and try to kill him. So, as I said, this team is a nightmare to face, even in PvP, when you can choose the order of your skill and the heroes that you uses. So there was no surprise that my random auto team would have died on this node. There's no way you can beat this on auto. And if you complete, and if you find the team to beat this on auto, please tell me, because I want to know, just to be able to play it on PvP. Because I will lose a star always against that team. Because as you can see, Wonder Girl did rest like 3 times, and I was sure that Power Girl didn't rest because I used Verdant Coffin from Swan Thing. So let's go over the hero involved here. It were Hal Jordan, which is nearly full skill, gear 11. The only L that you need is the 1, the 2, and the 3. You don't need the legendary. The Swan Thing is L4, and I'd like to go L5 when I get the reward from the siege. He's not even fully fully skilled, because I don't care to spend this 2 or 6% increase and spend those blue rings. And Stars of Fire is in the dumpster with just full skill on this L4. I don't care about the buff immunity. It would have been good against Deathstroke, but I prefer to have this one in PvP. So especially against Constantine. And there's no need for the second strength down. Maybe it's useful in Red Alert, but I don't use it in PvP that much. And the last one was Power Girl, which was fully skilled without the L3, the increase in damage. And as I said, I use Lobo in her spot when she dies. Is L4 with the most important skill are the 4th one and the 3rd one, and is legendary leadership. So beside that, I hope that this is some kind of useful to you. We have been able to clear it up to node 10, which is the most important part, and node 11 you can manually do this. And remember, if you find something difficult, maybe you want to swap Al Jordan for Steppenwolf, or Al Jordan for maybe your Superman, or maybe just run manually 1 node or 2 nodes and then continue with auto random attacks, auto. Because at the very end, the most important thing is that you are able to do this, automate the most tedious part. But it's no biggie if you just run a couple of nodes manually over 12. So sometimes I can complete it fully on auto, where there's no nightmare team like the one that we encountered at the end. I've tried other teams like the one suggested by Kage, which is Warnago and Etrigan or Stars of Fire. I tested both, or Swan Thing. I tested all these 3 and they all failed. I meant to test with Marshall Manhunter, and I had Michael test the Atrocitus one because he has Wally West at gear 11, so he tested this one, Wally West, Wonder Girl, and Al Jordan at gear 11, and it did fail. Maybe it was just unluck, but this failed, and I don't have yet my Wally West at gear 11. Maybe next month. I want to see who's considered an alien, and we have to upgrade for those 2 Gems Blades, and after that I will probably go there. Him and Superboy, I really want them, and gear 11. And again, I've tested so many things in the last couple of weeks, and I found Lobo being great, but sometimes you really want the first Toon Taunt, and Power Girl is the only one left, because Harlequin Magister will have a long cooldown on... These are the first Toon Taunters: Harlequin Magister, Clayface, Power Girl. So these are actually the only, let's say, reliable first Toon Taunters. But the issue is that after they changed Clayface, he no longer taunts before the first round, even if the skill is auto cooldown. Harlequin has a 3-turn cooldown, so she taunts, let's say, once every other red alert, and the only one that's reliable enough is Power Girl. So you could have used your DOJ, but she's not reliable. She needs the leadership position, and she's some kind of squishy when she is not proccing her legendary point a couple of times before. So I would rather not consider her. And this horrible Giganta here, I don't even think about her. So these are the one that I would consider for first turn taunters, but again, this doesn't work any longer, and Harlequin has a long cooldown, so I'd rather have one high damaging output team with Etrigan, and maybe your... I know that people are running this team with a huge success. In lower red alert, because on turn 1 you will have Etrigan probably killing some greens, then Lobo procs, and then because of the continuous amount of death that you get, he will be always taunting, and that's good. And if someone dies, you have Swamp Thing as an insurance, it's just good. So, all that said and done, I hope that this video is some way helpful to you to just, lessen the stress of the red alert running. If you are not one of those people that doesn't enjoy running red alert, I know for one that I am. And you can just, during your, evening on the couch, just press auto and play with the team. It's the best thing that you can do with red alert. So I suppose this is some meager consolation to my lack of stream today, but I'm not in any kind of health state to be seated for 3 to 4 hours, and I need to go back to bed. So I hope to see you when I will be able to stream. I hope you enjoyed the background on the Twitch advertising no stream today. That's it. See you the next time. Thank you for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, you know what to do: subscribe, like, whatever. And if you are so kind, please follow on Twitch, or if you are Amazon Prime, please subscribe on Twitch. You will see more live content, and I will see you in, I don't know, 1 day or 7, depending on my health. Bye bye. Ciao.